Breaking news tonight, a so-called smear campaign. Everybody's favorite gossip girl, Blake Lively, battles her co-star, Justin Baldoni, after shock sex harassment claims emerge. Good evening, I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us. Lynn Shaw is with me, founder and executive director, Lynn's Warriors, who has shot to fame in her opposition to all things dirty ditty. Her other life that you don't see on camera, she created Lynn's Warriors that is committed to ending exploitation of women and sex trafficking in any form. You know, Lynn Shaw, I usually have you join us when we are talking about sex crimes on girls or women or men. The exploitation of women is a very nuanced thing. It comes in many, many forms. Like, for instance, a woman is shamed because she gains weight after having a baby. You know what? The twins are 17. I just went on a diet, okay? Women are shamed because they have strong opinions. They're put in a position of power and authority, yet when they exercise power and authority to complete their job, then they're shamed. They're evil. They're bitches. They're divas. In my mind, that is exploiting women. You put them up on a pedestal only to tear them down.
Nancy, you're absolutely right. But we at the Warriors are based on facts. Obviously, Nancy, you have not been a fan of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, because I just want to mention one thing. It goes back to the 90s, a lot of stories behind the scenes about Blake Lively and her behavior. Now, that doesn't mean much. She was much younger then. Let's fast forward. Here's what I want to say. This movie,
okay,
now hear me out, everybody.
No,
you have to hear, you have to hear what I have to say.
What behavior in the 90s was supposedly bad?
Oh, Nancy, please. There have been stories about her for decades where she was very mean to
about
people
what?
People interviewing her. She was
mean.
Very snarky. Sorry, you're
snarky.
in show business. No, especially
so
if you're
what?
a woman. Especially if you're a woman, we've got the double standards everybody knows about, because I'm here to say it's still a man's world in Hollywood. That's the way it goes. It's a very tough thing. So her reputation has been questioned many times over the last few decades.
The worst you can throw out there, Lynn Shaw, she was snarky and mean.
Nancy
okay.
Grace, she has been.
I think I heard that back in high school. Oh no, it was the 5th grade. Okay, go ahead.
She has been mean. She has been called herself a mean girl by other actresses.
So what?
Okay,
even if she was, which I'm not buying into, so what? That's the worst you've got. I mean, I'm used to dealing with rapists, serial killers, child molesters, and you're telling me she was mean when she was 21. Okay.
I am fast forwarding now to some facts that this movie has grossed so far $351 million worldwide, with a budget of $25 million. So a lot of these people here are making a lot of money. This is a real mudslinging case because we deal with real world, real people, real victims. Here's my big question I want to ask. Why wasn't the intimacy coordinator from day one on that set? After going through the Me Too, the Harvey Weinstein, go back to Bill Cosby, Kevin Spacey, we'd be here all day if I keep naming the men in Hollywood. Why wasn't he? Has proof, Justin Baldoni. He wanted that coordinator on the set. She would not meet with the coordinator. Everybody's got to get these facts straight. She said, you know what, Justin, you meet, and he has this in text messages. You meet, and when I arrive on the set, you can tell me, translate that information directly to me. So how do we know that in his talking to her and translating these sexual scenes and this intimacy, that now she's going back? And I remind everybody, the New York Times did not do their job. They took her side, her story. They didn't contact him. They didn't question him. I think that's unfair. He was released from his agent, WME, William Morrison Dever, the same agent as Blake Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. Why was he, you're innocent until proven guilty. So I want to go back on something. If she's pulling something.
I hardly think that a talent agency dropping you equals a guilty verdict. But hold on. I want to address what you said.
I want
Okay?
facts. We have to get the
Even
facts here
if
about-
that's true, I'm trying to determine if this smear on her was orchestrated by hench people of Justin Baldoni's, because I've read those texts about, quote, burying her. Here is another example of Blake Lively being a so-called mean girl. Watch. You know what? I'm sorry I did that. I screwed up. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm really sorry. Instead of now we've got all these multi-million-dollar lawsuits playing out, to Lynn Shaw joining me, founder, executive director, Lynn's Warriors, dedicated to ending human trafficking and protecting specifically women and girls. What do you make of it now that you know in her 30-point doc, she demanded an intimacy coordinator on the set?
Nancy, she demanded it, but she did not meet with the intimacy coordinator. So that's something everybody should be looking at. Why didn't she meet? Again, she said to Justin, you go ahead. I'll meet the coordinator when I get to the set. You get all the information.
Okay.
Let's you
I
and me
see what you're
discuss it.
saying.
But here's what I want to say. So that's really bothering me, and I'll tell you why. I wish we could flip this around. This movie was about domestic violence, a woman's relationship, a woman's worth, a woman owning a business, a young woman. You know, why? I wish in this movie they focused on doing some good for domestic violence victims, you know, putting that out there. Now, what do we have? We have this big, I don't know what to call this whole thing. My focus is on the real victims in real life that we never talk about, that we're not helping.
Yeah, you know what, Lynn Shaw,
you know?
I'm glad you said that. For 9 years of the 10 plus years I prosecuted at night, I volunteered, as you know, at the Battered Women's Center. And it was excruciating to hear what domestic violence victims go through. By the time I got them in court, they were either dead or they were maimed, like a broken hip or a broken leg or a broken collarbone as part of an aggravated battery from domestic assault. You're absolutely right. I want to make it clear that Baldoni's reps have denied all of these claims.